Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session. In today's session, we will look into the second module. Okay. Just we will go through what we are going to see in this particular module. In module number 2, we are going to see into the HTML tables. That is the how to create the table using the HTML tags, and we are going to see the forms, introducing tables, styling of the tables, how to style the tables, what are the different options are there, we will see. Introducing forms, and as you know, forms is the means by which we can submit the data to the server. So you have filled many forms, suppose for any kind of a registration, you will be entering your information, and then at the bottom you are going to click on the submit button. The data whatever you have entered on the browser, it will be posted to the server. And based on that, whatever the action to be taken care is taken care. For example, if it is a registration page, a student registration page, then data will be stored in the database and registration number is generated. Form control elements, table, we are going to see the advanced CSS in that layout, normal flow, positioning elements, floating elements, constructing multi-column layouts, approaches to CSS layout, and responsive design. Responsive design is the one we talked about. If there are any issues on what type of a screen, okay, what is the size of the screen. So there are certain things we can incorporate to make it as a very responsive web application, where certain things will change according to the size. If it is a smaller screen, some of the things will be reduced to just the buttons or things like that, instead of having the full widget. Those are the responsive design. Then CSS frameworks. Those are the things we are going to see in this particular module. So let us start with the HTML tables. HTML tables and forms.
Sir, screen is not
HTML
shared.
tables and forms. Okay.
My screen is not being presented.
Yes, yes, I will do that. Sorry for that. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? All right. In this particular module, we will start looking into the tables, HTML tables, and the forms. So here we will look into introducing tables, styling of the tables, then introducing forms, form control elements, table and form accessibility, and micro formats. We will start with a simple table. So as everybody understand, what is a table? Table will be having rows and columns. So we will be representing a data in a form of a rows and columns. And where would be the need to display information like that? There are many places where we will require to display information in a tabular format. For example, if you want to display your marks, okay, so you'll be having name, USN, then subject wise, you are going to have the columns for the marks. So each row represents the student information, and the column represents the what kind of information is there, whether name is there, USN is there, those information. So that is one example. Suppose you want to display the calendar, right? So if you want to display the calendar, again it is a tabular structure. We will be having Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on. Then we will be having the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with respect to whatever the month we have. We are going to have that particular data in a tabular structure. Suppose we have any kind of a financial data, company name, company name, company financial data. Again, it will come as a tabular structure, any kind of a list. Okay, if there is a display of a merit list, let us say for admission, your website or the web application, there again it's a tabular structure. In all these applications, HTML tables would be very useful. A table in HTML is created using table element. This is the HTML tag we are going to use to create the HTML table. Inside the angle brackets, we have table. And this is the opening table. Similarly, for the closing table element, it would be inside the angle bracket / table. Tables can be used to display many types of content, as we just discussed: calendars, financial data, lists. Okay, all those information can be used. And what kind of a data can we include in the table? You can include any kind of a data. So for whatever you are seeing, images you want to include as a data inside the table. Whether you want to include just the text, the strings, whether you want to use links, you can use inside the table. And if you want to use a table inside another table, you can do that. All those things can be a data in a HTML table. This is the example. In this particular example, you can see information is displayed about the upload space, daily uploads, total uploads. Upload information is there. This is the charge for the free category, and this is for the basic connection category. This is a premium connection category. So if you, this information is very nicely displayed using the HTML table, where you can make sure that in each of the category what you are going to get, all those information is provided here. This is one way of representation. Here, this is another. This is the inventory of the artist. This is the picture of the artist. You can say this is the table. Artist is the column, and work details. Inside the work details, we have again images there, title, year, and home. You can see in this particular example there is a image data. So these are all image data, and we have one more table inside a table, and we have, this is a text data. This is a number, this is a text data. This is another example of the table, where we have image, okay, and other information. Okay, this is a button, edit button. So we will see how we can include all those things. And this is a representation of a calendar. So how to combine? So if you see here this structure, even though it is a table structure, you see the October 2014, this top row is spanning over all these dates, isn't it? So we will see how to do that, what property we can set so that this will span across all, because we want to have this for all this is Sunday to Saturday, and this particular information is spanned across all these columns, 7 columns. So we'll see how to do all those things. Let us start with a basic table. The basic table, to create a basic table, we will have a table HTML tag, and inside the HTML tag, uh, in order to create the rows, we are going to use the tr. Table row. TR means table row. Inside the angle bracket, we will have TR. Suppose you want to create, in the previous example, we'll consider a simple example here. This is the one example. How many rows are there? This is one row, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. There are 7 rows. I will be having 7 TRs. Okay. So TR stands for the rows. If you want to create a row, you are going to use TR in the angle bracket, and similarly we will have the closing row, the closing row inside the angle bracket /TR. And inside each row we can have data cells. What is data cell is? See, this is one row, and these are the data cells: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So these are TD. This is complete is TR. This is TD. That is TD, table data cell. Each row contains any number of table data cells. It depends on how many columns you want, those many td will be have. And the content, whatever the content you want to put, that will go inside the td tag. So we will have opening td tag and closing td tag. So this is opening and this is a closing td tag. In between, whatever the content you want to display, you can include that particular information here. This is one simple table. It has one row and only one data element. There is one row tr, opening tr, closing tr, opening table and closing table. All the tr should be inside the table, opening table and the closing table html tag. So you can have n number of opening tr and closing tr based on your requirement of the number of rows. Inside the row you will have the data cells, that is a td. So we have one table has one row and it has one data cell, and the content is this one. So let me show you a code, then we will understand. Okay, so I have basic table 1. Open with, let me open with the notepad plus plus, so that you can, it is visibly inside the structure. Let me first display it on the browser so that you can see how it looks. This is html tags. I will go to parent directory, table forms, and here basic table 1.html. This is the same html which I have opened here. You can see I have html opening tag and closing tag. Inside that I have head. So this is spelling is incorrect. I have head and I have, okay. So HTML, this is opening HTML, this is closing HTML, this is head, this is body. You can see in Notepad++, the minute I select the opening tag, automatically closing tag is highlighted. Inside the body, I have a table. This is opening, this is closing. Inside the table, I have two rows. This is first row and second row. So you can see how many rows are there for our table. This is one row. This is second row. Two rows are there. And inside the first row, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TDs. Okay, there are 5 data cells. You can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the first cell has this content, the death of Marat. Okay, then this is the name of the artist is in the second data cell. 1793 is the year, and 162 centimeter, it is a painting. And this is the dimension, this is the year of creation, and this is the artist. We will see right now. It has created this particular row. This is the row, and there are these information is displayed. Similarly, second row, there are 5 td again information about another artist, and this is the width and height of the particular artist. Okay, particular art, or the particular painting. So this is how we are going to create the table. Next, basic example, that is what we, this is the same example what we saw. We have two rows here. Okay, and this is how the information is displayed. This first, this is the complete table. So we are going to use the table html tag opening and closing. Inside this table there are two rows, so two trs, one tr, second tr. So opening tr, closing tr. For the second row, opening tr, closing tr. Inside the first row, how many data elements I want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening TD and the closing TD, I have the content. Whatever the content I want to display in that particular cell, I'm going to display. So this is the information that is displayed here, and this information goes on the second row. Whenever it sees a TR tag, it will take you to the next row with table headings. Now, the disadvantage with what you saw is right. We don't know what is this information, isn't it? Just now I told you this is about the some painting and about the artist and when it was created. That is how you are able to understand what this information is meant. Instead of that, we can use the table headings. Table headings will tell what that particular data is meant for. And your table heading, we can include using the th table heading. So here we are going to have one more row, and that row will have the heading for each of the column. So we will have one more tr. This is one more tr. Inside that I have a title th. Okay, second title, this is the th, opening th and the closing th inside the title, then artist, year, width and height. So just we added this th element. I will show you the next html. That is table 2. You can see title or th element will be shown in bold. So that is the default styling of this particular browser. Right now I have opened it in the Chrome. That where is the default, I'm using that. I'm not doing any kind of a styling on this table. That styling we will see later how to style this particular table. If you are not seeing the lines outside, how to make them visible, how to provide that styling, we will see it. And source code for this, let me show the source code. This is the second one. This is the HTML. Okay. So what it is same, exactly same as the previous basic table1.html. Here only thing what I have added is one more row I have added, and I have included the title for the each of the column. That is done using the th. Okay, these are the things are there. Table heading, then we will be able to understand what that particular data stands for, and it is very easily user can understand that tabular structure with the proper accessibility. Is if we have any kind of a software which reads our html, okay, when it parses the document, it will exactly know what is th meant for. Okay, so it will help for the accessibility. The table heading, browsers tend to make the content within th element bold. Okay, so this is the browser default styling. It will make the header as bold. Th element for accessibility, it helps those using the screen readers. If we are parsing our html document, it will be easily understandable. Th means it is the heading. So that is how the accessibility becomes one key factor when we use the th. Provides some semantic info about the row being a row of a header. So it gives us spanning rows and columns. So if you see here, we have one width here and one is the height. Let us say instead of having height, let us say 5 pixels. two headings here. I two heading because if you remember the calendar, I had one October month with year. It has spanned across the all the 7 days. Similarly, this measurement I want to have only one heading, like say size inside width into height. This common heading, but it should span these two columns. Excuse me, these two columns, one represents the width and one represents the height. If we have to do like this, there are attributes called as a column span and a row span. That is COL span. This is a column span, col span, and row span. This column span will make sure that it whenever you use that property, that property will be used and it will take the number of columns to be spanned. Okay, so in this particular case we have first header, second header, third header. So first, second, third. When it comes to the fourth header, I am saying call span is equal to 2, means I am saying this header should span for two columns. That is why whatever the content I have included in this particular th, size inside the bracket, width into height, it is spanning for two columns. Okay, below this there are two columns. Rest of the things are same. Suppose you want to do the row span. What is the meaning of the row span? Let us say I have the same artist here for all the rows. I have the same artist, titles are different. Then instead of having the artist name in every row, I can just say row span and I can provide that artist name. First, we will see the code for this column spanning. This would be basic HTML table 3. Okay. Okay. The rest of the code is exactly the same. Okay. And let me remove the styling for now. Okay. Everything is exactly the same. What you saw before, there is no change in that. Only the change that is made here for the fourth th, I have given call span is equal to 2, and then I have given the content. So if I have HTML like this, then let me that is basic table 3.html. So you can see here it is actually spanning. Now it is not visible. So that is why we haven't used the styling yet. So in order for you to understand, it is spanning this particular the size. This content is include the styling. I will just say I will include the styling. So what kind of a styling it is? It is embedded styling in the head section. So see, these browsers are forgiving, like it is taking it without any. When I am specifying the style, I will be specifying it for the table, table header, and table cell, that is td. For all these, that is table, th, ted, td, I'm going to use this style. I'm going to have a border. Okay, colon, this is the property. What kind of a border? I will have a solid line, and 2pt is the width of that particular border, or the thickness of the border, and red is the color of the border. And red is the color of the border. That is the style that will be applied to table 3, which I have already there. I'll just refresh. Now you can see. Now you can see all the, this is what you are seeing outside. That is the table styling. and what you are seeing inside, this is the TD styling. Now you can see size, width of height, it is spanning across two columns. Now it is very visible. Next, using tables for layout. Earlier, now also many of the websites they use the tables for doing the layout. uh, what is the meaning of the layout is how you want to display your web application. In some of the website, most of the e-commerce website, you will see you will have a panel on the left hand side where you will have list of all the categories of the items, and on the right hand side, uh, top, there will be some kind of a logo or the company information, and below that you will have a one more window. There you will display the whatever you are selecting on the left panel, you are going to display. So this is a one kind of a structure you want to have for your web application. That structure or the layout can be done using the tables. So this kind of a layout was very very popular during 1990s. It results in a table bloat, means every content will go in a table structure. Okay, it is not a very semantic way of putting the information because everything is inside the TD. You can include an image, you can include another table, you can include a text. Semantically, it doesn't give much information. Larger HTML pages and browser quirks. So a lot of inconsistency because of this table structure, and the table length is to become very big. Okay. So here in this particular example, you can see artist name is here, title is there, and year is there. This is the complete table. And how many rows are there? This is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row. How many rows are there? There are four rows. You should never you should always look from left to right in order to find the table rows, because we might use the column span or row span, whatever the way we want to display, but it doesn't change the table structure how you are going to code in your HTML. So these things uh, represent the rows. So I have four TRs and TH1, 2, and 3. And if you see TD, this is the only data cell I have. Okay, across these rest of the three rows, 1, 2, 3 rows, I have only one information, because this is the same artist for all these title. It doesn't make sense in having three rows and displaying the same name repeatedly. So that is why we are using we are using row span, and I'm telling it as 3. What is the meaning of that? It will span for the 3 rows, and these are regular TD. This is the 2 TDs, this is 2, this is 2. So when we are structuring the HTML, I have the table first TR, and inside that I have artist title year, artist title year, that would be inside of the TH. Then this TR, opening TR, closing TR, represents this row. And the first data cell I have is a row span is equal to 3, and this is the content, Jacques Lewis David. So that is the, this content will span for a 3 rows. So this TD will span for 3 rows. Then I have TD, death of Marat, then TD 1793. Then the close of the row, next opening of the row. Here I will not have 3 TD, I will have only 2 TD, because the first TD will span across that row also. So I have only 2 TD. The next information is the intervention of the Sabine women. This is the information, 1799, 1799. This is the close of the row. Again, opening of the next row. This is opening of the next row. The first element will span the second element, Napoleon crossing the Alps. That is the content, 1800. This is the year. So this is how it will look like. So this is the example of a row span. I will show you the code. basic table 4 .html. So you can see here I have artist title here. The first TD row span is equal to 3, means this particular content Jacques Louis David is going to span 3 rows. Then I have 2 more TD, and here next row 2 TD, next row 2 TD. I will show you how it looks like. TBL4. You can see this TD is spanning over 1, 2, and 3 rows. So this color combination is different, whatever you have given here. Here it is solid 2PT black. That's why you are seeing it in a different color. This is the one example of a table layout. Here you can see this is a layout, how you want to display your particular page. So you have everything, this particular page inside a table. This is opening table, closing table. Inside that I have one TR. Other page has only one table and one row. Inside that I have first TD. This is second TD. There are two data elements. The first data element is a image, okay, castle. Okay, this is the location of the image. You know how to include a image, so we can include a image inside the TD. So what you are seeing, this one is coming from this image tab. And next, inside the next TD, this is the opening TD and closing TD. Inside that I have a header H2 castle. Then I have a paragraph Louis UK. You can see this content here. So another 1, 2, 3 paragraphs are there. This is the until here. Then I have header 3 H3 other images by Michelle Brooks. So you can see this content here. And after that, inside the same TD, I have one more table. This is the beginning of the table, this is the end of the table. What you are seeing here, or rather here, okay, both are same. Okay, what you are seeing here is this table, opening of the table, and inside there are two rows. This is the first row, this is the second row. First row, second row. And inside the first row there are two TD, means 2 TD, and TD has image. This is the first image, second image. This is first image, second image. Second row, again I have two images. This is first image, second image inside the 2 TD. Let me see if I have code for that. I'm not sure. This is painting. Okay, so that particular example I don't have. That is fine. Let me see what is the HTML table 5. Okay, table 5 is different. Okay, so you can include the image. Just you can get some particular image, and you can make a layout like this. So whatever the images you get it, just include anything, and you can create a code like this. These are the additional table tags what we are going what we can use. A caption, title for the table is good for accessibility. Why we are this is a caption for the it is a title for the table, means it is going to give a name for that particular table. Once again, So caption, this would be very useful for the accessibility. So we will come to know what is the that particular, and we have additional tags, call and the call group. These describe our columns and can be used to aid in styling. Suppose if you want to have any kind of a styling, we can use this particular call and the call group. And T head, this is the table header, could be potentially to include other TR elements. Suppose this is the header element. T head, from the accessibility point of view, instead of having just a TR, if we include T head, we will come to know this particular row is meant for the header. Similarly, footer, if you want to have any information in the footer, that information can go in the T foot HTML tag. And irrespective of where you write this T foot, right now you can see we have T head, immediately we have T foot. Okay, inside the T foot, inside the T head I have title artist year, title artist year, and this caption 19th century French paintings, that will come on top of the table. So that will come as a caption. And this call and the call group, we can use it for the styling purpose. We will see how we can use that for the styling purpose. And in the T foot, in the T foot I have TD, column span 2, means it spans for the two columns. And the content is total number of paintings, and this is the total number of paintings, and then next TD number 2. So here if you see, even though I have included T foot immediately after the T head, it will be displayed at the end. So it will be displayed at the bottom as a footer. Then I have T body. T body will have other content of the body. So this is exactly same what we had before. That is the content. Okay. So this is the column group. That is how we used this caption 19th century French painting. Then call, we have some class name. If you want to include the styling, you can include this for the selector. Then column, opening column group. And if you want to group certain columns, you can use the call group. So first column, it is having some styling. Second and third columns, they are grouped, and it is having a styling of this particular ID selector. Then I have T head. Okay, this is opening and closing head. Inside that I have a row, artist title here, T foot, T foot, column span 2 rows here. And inside the T body, I have three rows. One, this is second row, this is third row. We will see how it looks like. Okay, this is the table 5. Now you can see this is the caption. These are the three titles. If you see here, by including T head, T foot, and T body, visually there is no much change. But we added the T head and T body and T foot. It gives a semantical meaning. So we will come to know what is head, what is body, and what is a foot. And in the T foot, the first TD is spanning across two columns. And for styling purpose, what I will do is I will create this. This is a class. I will say dot, open curly brace, and I will say background color. Maybe I will say yellow. Now I have added one class selector, and this is the class selector. I will save it, and I will. Okay. Now you can see this particular column. Okay. So what I did, the the first column I have given this particular styling. That styling is what? Background color is yellow. And let me take this painting columns. uh, if I provide the style here itself, let us say I will give a style here. This is used as a embedded. If I want to use a style here, you can say style is equal to inside double quotes, and I would use the same background color. Let me take some other color, green, and semicolon double quotes. I will save it. I will reload. Now next column is green. Now if you see, I have used a column group. So right now I have given third column a style of green background color, but we have grouped column 2 and column 3. So if I specify this style to the group, let me copy that and provide it to the column group. Sorry, I'm specifying a style here. Style is equal to background color green. Now this style is applied to the group where we have two columns. Let's see how does it look like. So you can see it is now applied to the complete group. Styling tables. What are the detailed styling we can use in HTML file? It is left to the CSS. However, legacy support for deprecated HTML attributes still exists. We have width and height for setting the width and the height of the cells. Suppose by default, when we created all this, by default, whatever is the content of that particular TD, it is width will automatically set to that particular width. Suppose in first, because Jacques Lies David requires only this much width, we have this much width for the first column. The second column, this is the largest data, it will take that size. And this is only a year, so it will take a, so width will change according to the content. Those are the two elements. If you want to set the width and height, you can do that. You can use the absolute units or the relative units. Similarly, cell spacing, for adding the space between every cell in the table. What you are seeing, this is the cell. This is the cell and this is the row. So if I want to add the space between every cell in the table, I will use the Uh, let me start.